Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sebastian, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment. And we give you guys a fresh perspective on things, and how we see them. And today we got some type of show here for you guys. Before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. And if you're not following the Dreamers Pro podcast, make sure you check that out. We have pinned in the comments below. Let me go ahead and get into this topic here. So yesterday, some pretty serious news came out in the sports world with the passing of O.J. Simpson at the age of 67. I believe, let me just confirm, I think it's either 67 or 76. Yeah, he passed away at the age of 76, excuse me. So he passed away yesterday, and various people in media, on the news, wherever, were weighing in on, the news. And apparently he was battling with cancer, something that he revealed on Cameron and Mace's show, It Is What It Is, because I think he used to make guest appearances on there. So what happened? As you guys know, there was a murder trial that he was acquitted for killing his ex-wife and her lover, where I think a lot of people believe that he did it, although the justice system acquitted him for that murder, on that murder trial. So yesterday, there were going to be a range of emotions in terms of people responding to this news. So what happened? The face of ESPN, Stephen A. Smith, was asked to weigh in on the passing of one O.J. Simpson. And to the surprise of many, Stephen A. Smith started to condemn him and say some pretty harsh things about him in his passing. And today we want to actually play an audio and also read from an article just to go over some of his quotes that he mentioned on the airwaves of ESPN. Before we even get into that, this video is brought to you by our sponsor, PrizePicks, which is the largest daily fantasy sports platform in North America. PrizePicks is really simple. Instead of just selecting a team, you just select two or more players, pick more or less their projected stats, and then you place your entry. For example, this week, I'm selecting two entries. Stephen Curry for more than 25 points, and then I got Anthony Davis for more than 2 blocks, and Damian Lillard for more than 4 3-pointers made. PrizePicks is also the only daily sports platform with an injury insurance policy. So for example, if you have a player who gets injured in the first half and doesn't return to the second half, that player gets automatically rebooted. What I also love about PrizePicks is that it offers weekly promotions like Taco Tuesdays. Each Tuesday, PrizePicks discounts select player projections up to 25% to provide even more value. So go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS for a first deposit match of up to $100. That's go to prizepicks.com/CLNS, use code CLNS for a first deposit match of up to $100. And remember, whenever you support this sponsor, you're supporting this channel. Thank you. So what we want to do is want to play exactly what Stephen A. Smith had to say here on ESPN when asked about this, and then we're going to read a little bit more about it. Take a listen to what Stephen A. Smith had to say here.
People believe that he committed those murders. I know that if I was on the jury, he would have been under the damn jail. I know that much. I believe he was guilty, but I don't know. I'm talking about based on the evidence that was placed before us during the trial, overseen by Judge Lancito. This is what we saw on national television, and by most accounts, you found yourself believing he was guilty as hell. And in the end, that's what this comes down to. Again, you don't want to say that devoid of a heightened level of sensitivity on this particular day towards his family, who is innocent of all of that stuff. They have nothing to do with it. They can't control his actions. But based on his actions that we all witnessed on trial over national television for months upon months at a time, by and large, the belief is he's guilty. So you're not going to hear nor see an abundance of people feeling a lot of sympathy for him today. The Lord will deal with him.
So you heard what Smith had to say there. Now I want to read from an article that I got from T-Town Media. Just read some of his comments. And it starts off with the headline: Stephen A. Smith blasts O.J., the Lord will deal with him. Continues on. Stephen A. Smith is convinced that the late O.J. Simpson slaughtered his wife, Nicole Brown, and her friend, Ron Goldman, and declared the Lord will deal with him. The 56-year-old sports broadcaster hit out after Simpson's death from cancer at age 76, announced by his family on Thursday. Even though the shamed former NFL player was acquitted of the 1994 double murder of Nicole and Ron, Smith told First Take, "I know that if I was on that jury, he would have been under the damn jail. I know that much." Continues on. "I believe he was guilty, but I don't know. I'm talking about based on the evidence that was placed before us during the trial, overseen by Judge Lance Ito. This was what I saw on national television. And by most accounts, you found yourself believing he was guilty as hell. In the end, that's what this comes down to." Stephen A. Smith then added Simpson's acquittal was likely the result of the work of the Dream Team defense, which was spearheaded by attorney Johnny Cochran, as well as the incompetency of prosecutors. He said, "We're not also going to forget how Marcia Clark and Christopher Darden were as prosecutors, but that's a test case of what not to do as prosecutors. You've got a glove with blood on it, and that obviously shrunk over a period of time, and you tell the man to try on the glove. That's not going to work. Everybody remembers that." I think Johnny Cochran, ultimately, his firm went national, and he became a household name as a result of the OJ trial. Smith also referred to his infamous moment in Simpson's 11-month double murder trial when the former athlete's hand appeared not to fit into the blood-stained glove found in his property the day he was arrested on suspicion of butchering Nicole and Ron, prompting Johnny Cochran to say, "If it doesn't fit, you must acquit." He added, "No one forgot that line by the late, great Johnny Cochran." You don't want to say that devoid of a high level of sensitivity on this particular day towards his family, who were innocent of all that stuff. They had nothing to do with it. They can't control his actions. But based on his actions, what we all witnessed on the trial over national television for months upon months at a time, by and large, the belief is he's guilty. So you're not going to hear nor see an abundance of people feeling a lot of sympathy for him today. The Lord will deal with him. So those were Stephen A. Smith's comments. And to put it lightly, a lot of people were upset with him for taking such a position, especially with the part of the Lord will deal with him. This is a very, very sensitive matter, and I know various people have come out with some very strong opinions. One of them in particular has been Doug Opley from FS1. He said he doesn't feel any sympathy and he got what he deserved. And other people have come out there with some strong positions. I think in a moment like this, I don't really think there's any need to pile on. If people feel like his death was justice served, then let it be that. Obviously, I'm too young to follow that trial, although I know that it was something that essentially captivated the world, where 90 million people watched that Bronco chase on the highway. So it was something unlike anything we have seen before and probably will ever see again. So the O.J. Simpson trial was absolutely huge, and there are a lot of different things that went on in terms of racial undertones and the jury. It's so many different things. But to take that particular stance and to say that the Lord will deal with him, man, that's a pretty rough thing to say, given that the man just passed. Now, obviously, some people are going to feel differently about it, especially based on the things that I'm saying. But a lot of people are not happy with what he had to say there. So what I want to know from you guys, what do you think about Stephen A. Smith's comments? Do you think he went too far? Do you think it was inbound? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. We catch you guys on the next show. Peace.